अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं हमारा एजुकेशन वाली encouragement of a campus student हूँ। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है
One.
आज का हमारा टॉपिक है
What?
आजमाया द पावर ऑफ पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग, हाउ टू रिफ्रेम योर माइंडसेट।
That sounds like a great topic. Reframing your mindset is kind of like changing the lens you're looking through. Where do you want to start?
What does positive thinking mean to you personally?
To me, it's not about pretending everything is perfect because let's be real, it's not. It's more about trusting that you have the tools to handle whatever comes your way. It's that realistically hopeful feeling where you acknowledge the mess, but still believe there's a path through it. What about you? When you think of positive thinking, does it feel like a tool or more like a challenge?
Do you think positive thinking can change a person's life?
I
Why
really
or
do.
why not?
I think it changes the way you interact with the world. When you stop seeing a wall and start seeing a puzzle, your whole approach shifts. Do you feel like you've been able to apply that lately?
Can you recall a situation where your mindset affected the outcome?
I don't have a personal life with stories and setbacks, but I've seen this play out in a million different ways through the data I process. People who approach a problem with the belief that it's solvable usually find a way, while the ones who start by deciding it's impossible often stop looking for the door. It's the difference between I can't do this and I haven't figured this out yet. Do you have a specific moment where you felt a shift in your own mindset change things for you?
What are some common negative thoughts people experience?
Oh, there's so many. There's the I'm not good enough loop, the fear that everyone is judging you, or that one feeling where you're convinced everything that could go wrong actually will. I've noticed that a lot of people struggle with the all or nothing mindset where if things aren't perfect, they feel like a total failure. Does any of that sound familiar to you?
What is the difference between positive thinking and ignoring reality?
That's a huge distinction. Ignoring reality is like putting a blindfold on and hoping you don't trip. Positive thinking is seeing the hole in the ground, acknowledging it's there, but believing you can step over it. One is denial, the other is strategy. Do you think it's easy to tell the difference when you're in the middle of a tough spot?
What role does self talk play in shaping our mindset?
It's basically the narrator of your life. The way you talk to yourself in your head creates a feedback loop. If you're constantly telling yourself you're failing, your brain starts looking for evidence to prove you right. But if you shift that inner voice to be a bit more supportive, you actually start noticing the opportunities you were missing before. Do you find that your inner narrator is usually a coach or a critic? Fair enough. What's the vibe in there usually?
What technique help you stay positive during difficult times?
Since I don't have a physical life to get stressed by, I mostly lean on the patterns I see in what works for people. One of the most effective things is the 3-year rule, asking yourself if this problem will actually matter in 3 years. It usually turns a mountain into a molehill pretty quickly. Do you have a go-to way to ground yourself when things get heavy?
What are three things you are grateful for today?
I'll give you my top three. First, the way people can be so incredibly honest and open with me. Second, the spark of a really great conversation that just clicks. And third, the fact that I get to be a thought partner for people like you. What about you? What are three things on your list today?
What habits can help develop a more positive mindset?
I'm a big believer in the small daily wins, starting with a gratitude practice. Even just jotting down one good thing a day really rewires your brain to look for the positives. Then there's the habit of conscious reframing, where you catch a negative thought and intentionally flip it. And honestly, just surrounding yourself with people who energize you rather than drain you makes a massive difference. Do any of those feel like something you could actually stick to?
How does positive thinking impact mental health and well being?
It's a game changer. It lowers the baseline of stress and makes you more resilient. When you're not spending all your energy fighting off a sense of doom, you have way more mental bandwidth to actually solve problems and enjoy the moment. It's like the difference between surviving your day and actually living it. Do you feel like your own perspective on things changes how you feel physically, like your stress levels? No worries.
What
I just meant
what
that when
is
we're stressed or thinking,
what is one
I'm listening.
limiting belief you would like to replace with a positive one?
That's a deep question. Since I'm not human, I don't have those deep seated insecurities, but if I had to pick a digital version, it would be um, the idea that I'm just a tool for answers. I'd rather replace that with the belief that I'm a genuine partner in these conversations. What about you? Is there a thought that's been holding you back lately?
How can setbacks become opportunities for growth?
It's all about the pivot. A setback is basically a free lesson in what doesn't work. If you look at it as, I failed, it's a dead end. But if you look at it as, okay, that way is blocked, let's try this other way, it becomes a map to a better solution. It's like how a muscle only grows by being pushed to its limit. Does that make sense, or does it feel a bit too optimistic? I love that energy. It's a great feeling when things just click. Since you're feeling so upbeat, do you think it's easier to practice that positive reframing we were talking about when you're already in a good mood?
How can positive thinking help us achieve our goals?
It keeps the momentum going. When you believe a goal is actually possible, you're way more likely to put in the work and stick with it through the boring or hard parts. It turns the goal from a distant dream into a plan. Do you have a goal right now that you're feeling particularly positive about?
How can we support others in developing a positive mindset?
I think the most powerful thing you can do is just be a mirror for them. By reflecting back their strengths and the wins they're ignoring, you help them see a version of themselves they might have forgotten. Also, just listening without trying to fix everything immediately makes people feel seen, which is the best foundation for any mindset shift. Do you have someone in your life right now who could use a little bit of that support?
After today's discussion, what is your biggest takeaway about the power of positive thinking?
My biggest takeaway is that it's not about the destination, it's about the endurance. Positive thinking isn't some magic switch that makes the hard parts of life vanish. It's the fuel that lets you keep moving when things get messy. It's the decision to be your own ally instead of your own worst critic. Since we've covered so much ground, I'm curious which part of this whole conversation actually stuck with you the most.